Oh, hi there, I'm Blackbright, broadcasting out of the UK. Welcome to my channel. First time you're passing by, you can hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down, or you can subscribe and you can share. This is a short roundup, and I had to do this roundup. I wasn't going to do it otherwise, but you know, we've been talking about I have my suspicions about whether or not they were injecting people with the virus and why a lot of people with underlying symptoms were dying. Because, you know, we heard, I don't know, in America, was it in America or here? Anyway, I heard that they were giving the elderly flu shots, and that could have contributed to what is deemed to be flu shots. That could have contributed to their deaths. We don't know. That's not categorical. But the fact of the matter is, it has been said that a lot of the elderly were given flu shots. Now we hear that in Nightingale Hospital, not enough of the population were injected with the virus. Now, my thought is that I'm wondering if those people who went in or who got gathered up or who got garnered, who had especially black people with underlying symptoms, I am wondering if they were injected with the virus and that is what killed them. I mean, even if it did, there's nothing we can do about it. Even if they did do that, they're all protected. You can't sue them. It's all in legislation. You can't say it's negligence. You can't say anything. That is beside the point. But the fact of the matter is that the CEO, the chief executive of, what is she? The chief executive of the Royal College of Nursing. So she's not no dibby person. She's not a little staff nurse. She's not somebody who has an ex-employee who's got a gripe. She's not a trainee. It's not coming out of the mouths of a porter or, you know, a GP. It's coming out of the mouth of the chief executive of the Royal College of Nursing. So I'm going to share this with you.
Is the General Secretary and Chief Executive of the Royal College of Nursing, and she joins me now live. Thank you so much for joining us on BBC News. I wonder, Donna Kinnair, how do you feel about the government's plans to test all essential workers? Do you think that health workers should be given priority, or do you think that this is right?
So I think we need a stage where health workers are given priority, because actually it's health workers that have been providing the care. So if I just take my example today, I've been at the Nightingale Hospital, and actually in order for us to go there, we do have to be tested if we're showing symptoms to be able to not take time off and to be able to deliver the right care for our patients. But just reference to your earlier conversation about lifting the lockdown, we know that we haven't infected enough of the population with this virus. So for any lifting of any lockdown to be successful, we need not only to be able to test healthcare workers, but also to track and trace patients or people, not just patients in hospital, but people outside of hospital or people that are coming into hospital for various other reasons.
Now tell me something. Can that be misinterpreted? Can that be construed in any other way? I was battling my brains with my critical mind. We haven't been able to infect enough of the population. How can that be construed in any other way? It's really quite scary, because it implies that they're doing stuff already. They're making it implies that even though they're saying that they don't have vaccines and they don't have enough testing or whatever it is they're doing, by saying we haven't been able to infect enough of the population, not unless it means that when they say not been able to infect enough of the population because people have been under lockdown, they haven't been infected. I'm just trying to think of another way, because at her level, would she incriminate the health service like that? Let me have your thoughts on that one. I'm not going to give it too much thought. You let me have your thoughts, please. Another thing was, I don't know how many of you know Tesla. I've heard of Tesla. Tesla, multi-million, well, Elon Musk. He's a CEO of Tesla. Anyway, multi-billionaire. And I think I mentioned in an earlier video, he's looking to invest in energy plant in the UK. So it looks like he's seeking to compete with British gas and all, Southern or Scotland energy and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's beside the point. He and his partner, Grimes, who's a Canadian singer, have had their first child. Guess what they've called it? EXA A-12. EXA A-12. Look how it's spelt. Can you see that? That is how the child name is spelt. Now, why would you call your child or name your child in that way? That child, are they not thinking about the child growing up? Or is this a name of the future? Is this how children are going to be named, as numerals and goodness knows what else? Is this a sign of the New World Order? Or is it, to help with algorithms to detect in the future? Why would you name a child in that way? Once again, your thoughts, folks. I mean, I'm baffled. I'm totally baffled. Apparently, the rationale behind it is X is an unknown variable. I don't know if that means they don't know what sex it is. AE, which is the Elven spelling, like I showed you, of artificial intelligence and love. A-12 is the precursor to SR-17, their favourite aircraft. I mean, why would you call your child after your favourite aircraft? And if that is the case, why didn't they just call her EXA SR-17? If that is your favourite aircraft, why call her A-12? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, what's happening in the world today is just getting more and more baffling. It's just getting more and more baffling. So the name isn't legal in California. I don't know if it's going to be legal in any other part of the world. It has to be legal to an extent. They must have thought about it and got approval in order to name their child that, I would have thought. I'm just thinking about the bloody child. EXA A-12. That's my name. Doesn't even sound bad, does it? Sounds like a robot. EXA A-12. Anyway, that is their child. That's that bit of news. Last bit of news. The Home Office is surprised that immigration judges have been releasing so many detainees. Apparently, they want reasons why the immigration judges are releasing so many detainees. Basically, when they detain young people or anyone in a detention centre under immigration powers, it's only supposed to be if they suspect that they can deport them imminently, that what what else was the reason? Only people are only supposed to remain in detention when deportation is imminent and removal is realistic, and depending on the level of risk they pose to the public. So obviously they've got picked up people, flung them in a detention centre for goodness knows how long, with no prospect of them being deported because they haven't probably got enough information on them. So they're waiting. A lot of these people, they wait for months and months, hoping that they get them on something. That's what the police do, you know, sometimes. They can't get you on anything, so they're thinking they must have something. There must be something on them. They must have committed some crime at some point, and we're going to find out what that crime is. So they put them in detention centre, waiting to see if anything's going to come up against them. Meanwhile, these poor kids or these poor people are in detention centres indefinitely, waiting for this evidence to come up, which never comes up. So now immigration judges are freeing them, releasing them, or putting them out on bail, more or less. They're not really releasing them. They're out on bail. Home Office don't like that. But, you know, with what's going on, I don't know whether they'd be better off in the detention centre or on the streets. Because when they're on bail, they're still going to be tagged. They're still going to be able to be tracked and traced and all that kind of stuff. I mean, to be honest, for young black men, I don't know where is safe. I really don't know what, unless you get out of the bloody country. I just cannot think, not even just young black man, for anybody at this point, you know, who is safe. And this is when I think, you know, sometimes I do read the Bible. And sometimes, you know, little phrases come out of me. And I think of that phrase that you're going to run to the tree and the tree is going to run. And you kind of think to yourself, what the hell does that mean? And I think of us in this situation. We're going to be in a situation at some point where we're going to be stuck in this country. And no matter where we want to go, we are not going to get anywhere. We're going to try and go, goodness knows, probably try to go Birmingham, where you're not going to be able to leave the country once all this lockdown comes down, the second pandemic. You're going to be looking to get away somewhere, and you're not going to be able to get away nowhere. Everywhere you go, you're going to be trapped. And so that is what I translate that to mean. That is just my interpretation. But yeah, the Home Office is looking for reasons. I don't know if they're going to get any. I don't even know if they should get any. They shouldn't question the judge. When the judge says not guilty, it's not guilty. So that's all I've got to say for now, folks. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's supposed to be really sunny tomorrow. Bye-bye.